Thanks, Colin. Well, I think we saw some pretty impressive examples of practice there, so we're on the right track. Very much so. I think there's a common theme though. Can anybody tell me what the common theme was across most of those presentations? Bit louder. Come on, don't be scared. It's about community and creating engagement. So all the examples were about people communicating and using technology to engage. I look at our first speaker, Melita, about the inclusive education is for all students, and regardless of their ability, not disability, because she encouraged us to not focus on the disability, but actually to focus more on the ability of the students. And a wonderful, wonderful example of that, so thank you. It's not rocket science either. I mean, many of the things we do are available in the tools we have at our disposal already. It's just we haven't really experimented with them. And I suppose I come back to my point. If we're going to do those things, we actually just need to think about doing them consistently, so that not sameness, but consistently, so that when students are experiencing these things, they experience them in a consistent way. So, Louisa, particularly with the use of Facebook, we use Facebook quite a bit at our university, but the way we use it is in relation to bringing it back in. So we use LTI, the Learning Technology Interoperability. So lecturers will use Facebook. They might set up learning communities in Facebook. What we encourage them not to do, though, is to put core teaching information in Facebook. We use it as a social medium to engage and get students who are comfortable using that medium to do that. So I would encourage you to look at how you could use Facebook in groups and things like that, but in doing so, how you bring that information back in. So one of the tricks we've done for many years, particularly in things like journaling and things like that we've done, we get students to do little activities, but then real-world activities. So go out and do something, and then do a short posting about that. Now, that doesn't matter if that posting's in Facebook. It doesn't matter whether the posting's in the discussion forum. And at the end of semester, we then ask them to summarise their postings. And that becomes an assessment item. So if they look at all the Facebook posts that they've done over the semester, they might look at all the discussion forums that they've done. But the assessment item is not the fact that they're doing it, but the fact that it says summarising and processing that information again. So they might have processed the information once when putting those posts up, but get them then to do a final summary, rounding it off, so they actually reprocessing that information, thereby learning. There are some people who can't use Facebook or don't want to use Facebook because of learning disabilities, because of religious reasons. There are things posted on Facebook that some people find offensive. And so we've got to be careful with that as well, so we don't make it mandatory to use Facebook or any other social media network for that matter. I mean, why use Facebook? Why use Twitter? Why use Snapchat? Why use Scoop It? Why use Instagram? Why use Pinterest? Why use LinkedIn? The list could go on, and will go on, and will go on. So chalk was a technology at one point. It replaced slate. Facebook will be replaced at some point in our learning scenarios by something else. It's just a part of the evolution of learning. Yoko, great example of collaboration again. So again, a different type of collaboration around partnerships and togetherness. Thank you for that example and for the student for sharing your experience as well. So it's not about, they talked about anxiety and scariness and things like that. These things are a bit scary. So if I wanted to use Facebook or something like that in my teaching, I am going to be a little bit scared of what the students think about it. But you know, no innovation has ever happened whilst holding back. We have to progress these things. We have to start trying these things, and it does take a little bit of time to actually come to terms with how we use them. And it's part of growing up, isn't it? I mean, walking across a plank, across a lake or something, you know, across some water, you're a bit scared going across, but when you get to the other side, you've actually realised you've reached your destination and achieved. Robert, I love the way he started off by personalising his experience, and I just feel closer to him because of that. Mate. You don't have to be, I mean, you can be a Luddite in technology and still get through, eh? It's great. I mean, the personalisation that it causes, I mean, it's all done in the online space, isn't it? I mean, that's the interesting thing. It used to actually all happen in the tutorial room. Now it's happening in the online space. So there's no difference, really. It's just a matter of how we're using the technologies to actually enhance our learning like that. So e-learning is a tool. It's just a tool, just like chalk's a tool. And it's just a matter of how we are using those tools to help us engage with our students. It's just another tool. It will be replaced. LMSs won't live forever. I can guarantee they will not live forever. Chalk didn't survive either. And so it's about the cross-disciplinary learning that you touched on cross-disciplinary learning. Now that is really important going forwards, particularly if we can conceive a way in which law students can work with nursing students, or sociology students can work with psychologists, working on common problems, so they're actually, and that's what they'll do when they get in the workforce. They'll start working with these people in the workforce. So how can we exemplify that right now in our courses by having some common assessment items across courses? So these different students are working together to solve common problems. So I wish you all the best with that, and I would like to see how that goes. Robert, that's great. Finally, with Nathan, again, the words I wrote down were relationships, personalised learning, real-world learning. I mean, that's really where it's at for our students, particularly in the online space, how they can personalise the learning journey to where they're going to be as professionals going forward. So it's no wonder these people got their awards for teaching in this place. So thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. Again, with Nathan, the use of the audio-visual aids for flexibility, to create flexibility, really, really important as we move forward. That's that's one of the ways in which we make learning in the online space sustainable. We create something that will, a learning resource, multimedia resource or whatever, that will last. If we make it general enough, not too specific, if we make it general, it will last 4, 5, 6, 7 years quite happily. And that makes education more sustainable, more adaptable in terms of the way we can use those going forward. So wonderful. Turn it in. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I think that's all I really want to say. What we saw in there, I mean, I know I don't want to stand between you and lunch. I mean, you're saying about an academic standing between him and coffee, but I don't think I can stand between